Hello, students. This is Miss Cohn, your English 12A teacher. Today, I'm going to give you some instruction on how to do this worksheet. So last week with our narrative portfolio one, we made a list, since the focus is memoir, we made a list of topics for memoir. And you did a free write for memoir. This week, we're going to focus on setting and moving beyond just time and place. A lot of times with any kind of narrative writing, including memoir, the writer will start with a description of setting. And a lot of times it's more than what Snoopy does in this example here. It was a dark and stormy night. I want you to do a little more with that in terms of setting, regardless of if you choose for the final paper to write a memoir or a piece of fiction. Setting can be tricky. Okay, you want to do more than, like I said, just give time and place. Although you do want to suggest it. You want to go beyond that and convey a certain mood or tone. You want to maybe give little hints about the characters in the setting as well. If you look at this example here from The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald, you'll see that in the setting description of his neighbor's house, the main character's neighbor's house, you will see that he does that. He moves beyond time and place. So what we're going to do together is read this, and you're going to take a look at this and my responses, which is an example of what you're going to do then with another classic example of a writer who goes beyond time and place. With setting, you're going to read the first 5 paragraphs of Truman Capote's In Cold Blood, and you're going to answer the same questions about those first 5 paragraphs as I do with Fitzgerald's paragraph. So the questions you're going to be answering about In Cold Blood read: how does Capote go beyond mere acknowledgement of time and place in his description of setting? How does Capote use language to show the reader instead of tell? And what mood does he create? And how do you know? So that means provide evidence. Okay. All right. So let's go back to Fitzgerald's example here, and I'll show you my responses to the same questions in reference to this passage as you're going to be answering for In Cold Blood. There was music from my neighbor's house through the summer nights. In his blue gardens, men and girls came and went like moths among the whisperings and the champagne and the stars. At high tide in the afternoon, I watched his guests diving from the tower of his raft or taking the sun on the hot sand of his beach, while his 2 motorboats slipped the waters of the Sound, drawing aquaplanes over cataracts of foam. On weekends, his Rolls-Royce became an omnibus bearing parties to and from the city between 9 in the morning and long past midnight, while his station wagon scampered like a brisk yellow bug to meet all trains. And on Mondays, 8 servants, including an extra gardener, toiled all day with mops and scrubbing brushes and hammers and garden shears, repairing the ravages from the night before. Okay, so how does Fitzgerald go beyond mere acknowledgement of time and place in his description of setting? My response to that would be Fitzgerald goes beyond acknowledgement of time and place in his description of setting by using thick description that not only gives us as readers a picture of what the neighbor's house might look like, he also gives us insight to the characters, especially the neighbor, but also the main character and narrator. From Fitzgerald's paragraph, the reader can tell that the neighbor has money. The neighbor seems to throw parties for his friends all the time with champagne, has motorboats, and he has a Rolls Royce. The reader also knows the neighbor has money because he has 8 servants, yes? But and we know that these are kind of wild parties because they're the servants are repairing the ravages from the night before. All right, question 2. How does Fitzgerald use language to show the reader the setting instead of tell? Okay, he definitely uses some colorful language and descriptive details such as taking in the sun on the hot sand of his beach while his 2 motorboats slick the waters of the Sound, drawing aquaplanes over cataracts of foam. He could have just said the neighbor's guests laid out on the beach and watched other guests use the boats. But that wouldn't have been very descriptive. I love how he says cataracts of foam. I can picture the boats creating the wake in the water and the foam, and much better than saying they took the boats out for a spin. All right. So, what mood does Fitzgerald create in the above first 5 paragraphs of Gatsby, and how do you know? I think he creates a mood that's described as wild and carefree. In the paragraph, he illustrates the life of the neighbor in such a way that suggests that with money comes the ability to be wild and carefree like this. And again, for example, he uses the word ravage, repairing the ravages of the night before. To ravage something, he describes the people and the guests and the parties. It suggests a wild and carefree mood. Yes. I also think the paragraph also creates an envious or voyeuristic mood, as the reader senses the narrator is looking on at the neighbors with a sense of wanting what the neighbor has. He's sort of looking at that and watching it. And to me, that suggests he's being somewhat of a voyeur, and he's envious of what the neighbor has. So that's how I would answer those questions. Now you're going to do the same. You're going to answer the same kinds of questions, just in response to the first 5 paragraphs of Truman Capote's In Cold Blood, which is known very much as a very skilled and powerful opener in terms of describing the mood, but it tells a lot more than just the mood of, or just a lot more than just the setting of In Cold Blood. All right, so your turn. Finish this up, submit it to Canvas. You're good to go. Have a great day.